During the 16th century, women's bodies began to change in size and shape, as women now had artificial straight bodies and whalebone hips. This shift in fashionable dress during the 16th and 17th centuries was the first time that women's bodies had been so drastically altered by a combination of structured foundation garments. At this time, they were known as bodies and farthingales, but you might know them more from their names in later centuries, stays and hoop petticoats, or corsets and crinolines. So any discussion of the female body during this time inevitably touched on the presence or absence of foundation garments. My book, Shaping Femininity, Foundation Garments, the Body and Women in Early Modern England, published by Bloomsbury, explores the preoccupation that both women and men had with achieving or denouncing a feminine bodily ideal that was shaped by these foundation garments. Core to the argument of this book, that foundation garments shaped femininity, is the understanding that social and cultural norms shape the meaning of objects, and objects in turn can shape social and cultural norms. By following foundation garments as they evolved over the 16th and 17th centuries, Shaping Femininity explores how the uses of and reactions to material things can reveal information about historical change, particularly in relation to the lives of women. My book uncovers the multitude of everyday experiences and attitudes towards how women should look and act, what their role within society should be, and how they should be regulated. This in turn highlights the often contrasting cultural and social expectations of women in early modern England. In this way, my book is not just a cultural history of the female body, but also a history of 16th and 17th century English women's lives. The way that they navigated their lives using dress. Although records relating to women of the elite are inevitably more numerous and much easier to find, I deliberately set out to conduct a study that would uncover as much information about the consumption habits and experiences of as many different women as possible. And I'm happy to say that my book includes a range of women of different social positions, both urban and rural. One way that I sought to access the lives and experiences of women, particularly those of the lower social levels, was through experimental history in the form of dress reconstructions that were made by myself using historical materials and techniques. By seeking to combine experimental history methodologies with those of gender history, my reconstructions are not relegated to a standalone chapter in the book. Instead, they're integrated throughout the book, and used to elicit further information from more traditional sources, but also to interrogate female experience and also artisanal experience in the same way that written, visual, and extant material sources are used. In this way, my reconstructions form a foundational part of the knowledge that is presented by my book. Ultimately, Shaping Femininity argues that foundation garments of the 16th and 17th centuries did not just reflect social and cultural ideas about how women should be, rather through their consumption and use of bodies and farthingales, women and men actively shaped notions of femininity in early modern England, and thus many enduring notions of femininity, as women, as I said before, continued to wear later versions of these garments, most notably corsets and crinolines, until the early to mid 20th century, and actually more recently in the fashion trends of the 2020s. Thus, these garments are continuing to define and be redefined by changing ideals of femininity. So I'd like to thank the Society for Renaissance Studies for shortlisting Shaping Femininity for the biannual book prize. It's a great honour and I'm amongst fantastic company, and I wish everybody good luck. Thank you.